In this video, we'll look at an algorithm to find a minimum and maximum value in a list of numbers. So here we declare an array, and we'll look at arrays later on, but think of it as a list of items. So here we have a list of numbers, and we index the array starting with index 0. So we have the number at index 0, 1, 2, and so on. And we also declare an integer to store the minimum value, and we set that to be equal to the largest possible integer. And we declare an integer for storing the maximum value, and we initialize that to the smallest possible integer. And now in the while loop, we iterate through the list of numbers, starting with index 0, and this Boolean expression checks if the index is less than the length of the list. So here we have a list of 8 numbers, so the largest index is going to be 7. And if this Boolean expression is true, then the code statements in the loop get executed. So here we're checking if the number in the list at index 0 is less than a minimum possible value, and this is going to be true because remember that min is set to the largest value of an integer. So therefore in this case, min gets set to this number in the list, which is 12. And here we also check if the number at index 0, which is 12, is larger than a maximum value. So here the maximum value is equal to the smallest possible integer, so therefore this is going to be true, and the max value gets set to 12 also. And then the index gets incremented, so it becomes 1, and in the next iteration, the index 1 is less than the length of the list, so therefore we execute these code statements again. So the number at index 1 is 4, and 4 is less than the min value, which is 12, so therefore the minimum value gets set to 4. And here we check if the number at index 1, which is 4, is greater than the maximum value, which is 12, so that's false, and this code statement does not get executed. And then the index gets incremented, and then in the next iteration, 2 is less than 8, and the code statements are executed. So after this loop is terminated, when the index is equal to the length of the list, then the minimum and maximum value gets printed out. And we expect the minimum value to be 4, because that's the smallest number in the list, and the maximum value to be 59, which is the largest number in the list. And as we can see, that's what gets output to the screen. So write this algorithm yourself to make more sense of it.